Sorry, go for it now.
Ek, do, teen, jar. Okay, testing. Testing. Acha.
Hello, testing.
Dandavats, devotees of the Lord. I'm Ananda, Moyi, Devi, Dasi, and we are here in the Srila Govinda Mela 2024. Can I hear for you from home and everybody here? Govinda! Mela! Govinda! Mela! Govinda! Mela! Very nice. So I promise you, and I deliver here on the stage, we have the most beautiful daughters of Srila Govinda Maharaj, and they were also his personal assistant for many years. I can tell you the years, but the truth it is, it's eternity. That's a bounding service of love and affection that I'm very fortunate to hear from them today. For the first time, they're sharing these stories, and I really need you to help me to welcome them, and share your questions, because that's the way we're gonna do. We're all gonna interview them today, and ask them questions, and please make this time worthy, okay? All right, so please help me to welcome Srimati Sita Devi Ki Jai. And Srimati Jamuna Devi Ki Jai. So, who has a first question, or should I ask mine first? Mine? Okay. So, for both of you, but I want to start with Jamuna. It's kind of a question and a thank you. So we live here in the ashram. We have the association of the devotees and Srila Gurudeva daily. But every day before I go to the Samadhi Mandir, I hear the absolute sweetness on Spotify, and that's so incredible. You do that, you share that, make Gurudeva available to adjust my mind that is all over the place. Can you tell us about this service, the service of sharing Gurudeva, when it starts, when you start getting his class in paper, distributing, how that starts?
Sure. Yes, as soon as I got there, it just happened to be in a gap where people weren't recording Gurudev regularly for the Mat. So I just picked it up as soon as I got there, basically, because I felt so strongly how important it was to record as much as we could. And then I tried to, as time went on, I got to be able to share those on the same day that the lecture was given, and so that's always been a big priority of mine. I've always felt like it was really important to try to distribute these incredible lectures that we were so fortunate to receive in person. And it makes me so happy that Anandamoy Didi said that she likes to listen to those, because I also feel that hearing that pure sound adjusts me in wherever I am at and whatever I am doing. And there's really, in so many ways and on so many levels that we're maybe not even aware of. It kind of just like is an incredible compass to just be able to hear Gurudev's pure sound in your ears. So it feels like my natural service in a lot of ways, and it's just a huge, incredible honor that this is what I get to do for my life. So if people listen, it just makes me even more happy, and I feel like it makes Gurudev happy too. So.
Questions? Sita, question for Sita.
Can you wait for the microphone for the question so the viewers can hear?
Dear Sita. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your service to Srila Buddha? When it began?
I came to the Mott first in '89, and actually found my home there with the first step of entering the temple. For the first time in my life, I felt like I'd actually arrived home. realized that I'd never been home before in my life. I had no idea I'd never been home before, but with that first step into the temple, I felt the weight of the world lifted off of me and that I had arrived home. I had already met my Gurudev, I hadn't taken initiation yet, in Calcutta. It was extremely sweet and so gentle with me, and I wasn't able to speak any words with the multiple questions he asked me. I just couldn't respond in any way. I was just completely in awe of how incredibly beautiful and just massive that Gurudev was. But in Navadip, I just started with going to see Gurudev and letting a waterfall of tears pour from my body without even having any emotion behind it, but just cleansing, just being in front of a pure devotee. Sometimes you'll just pour waterfalls of tears without anything. So I did that for a long time in front of Gurudev, actually, every time, but silently. Just this tears were streaming, and I had to leave that time after 2 months and was really sad to leave, but I did come back, and Gurudev, my father had asked if I could take initiation from Gurudev, and Gurudev gave me initiation in that first time. And then later, when my father wanted to call me back out of India, Gurudev said to me, "What kind of father gives and then takes away?" Or not what kind of father, but he gave and now he wants to take you. And so that was like a signal to me from Gurudev that he wanted me to stay there. And so I ignored my father's instruction to return home, which created chaos in that world for me. And I started just serving in Navadip Dham, doing anything I could, because in Navadip Dham, this service all comes spontaneously. It's not directed or given to you. Usually you have to have some desire. And with that desire, you start noticing things that need to be done. And naturally, you go and, start doing service. And at some point, Mahananda Prabhu had to leave the country, and I had been helping in the office. So Mahananda Prabhu left me with the service of the letters, correspondence for Gurudev, and said he didn't know if I would be successful in actually being able to do that with Gurudev. But I was very shy and very nervous, but desperate, and went there at 3 a.m. in the morning and knocked on the door of Gurudev's private chamber. And Gurudev said, "Kay, who is there?" And I said, "Sita." And he said, "Oh, come in." And had Rasabdi Prabhu, who was there at that time, make me a cup of hot chocolate and give me a biscuit. And I started doing that service with Gurudev then. And then when Madhusudan Maharaj returned, Gurudev said, "Actually, she will be my personal secretary and you can be Western secretary." So I got to keep that service. But mostly all my service to Gurudev came from just seeing a need. There was a need at some point for even some more personal service. I realized who's maybe giving that is not giving it to the extent that I felt it needed to be given, or there was no one giving that service. And so boldly, even with all my shyness, but you have to seize that moment of opportunity, because Gurudev was so beautiful and so everything. He was just so beautiful in everything that even in fear and shyness, I had to go forward and attempt to offer that service. And Gurudev was really beautifully claiming of me, actually. He claimed me, so. And yeah, whenever somebody tried to take me from there, he actually stopped them. He stopped my father. He stopped other people who asked for me to come to different countries and said, no, she will not go. And so he took me as his, and I forever. So I just hope I've not been serving at all. So this is really just some piece of history. And really, first I just want to give honor and respect to all the Vaishnavas that are here and that are practicing in their spiritual life, because I am not doing that. But I have some incredible fortune, and I can't deny that. Gurudev was extremely, so incredibly, deeply, fiercely affectionate with me, because he's merciful. So, yeah, I just pray to all of you who are actually incredible devotees and practicing in your daily spiritual lives to bless me so that I can start. And I felt just yesterday, I was like, it's okay, every day we can start. Every day, like I can start today. And if not, I can start tomorrow. Just when tomorrow comes, I can start today again. I can start and I can start and I can start my spiritual practicing life to satisfy my Gurudev, because he gave us everything. So, yeah. And there's so many beautiful stories. Just to give a piece of, like, Gurudev was like, he was everything. So every incredible quality and characteristic, like the most humorous, the most affectionate, the fiercest, the like mystical, just like Gurudev had all of these incredible qualities, and adventurous. So, yeah. Maybe we'll share some of those, but I want to pass to Jamuna, Priya.
Well,
Sita. If you start to cry so much, then I'll start to cry, and that's bad for my image.
Okay, we'll all be crying. Thank you.
I'm like choking right now.
I will take it as my service to be calm for you, Ramachandra Prabhu. Thank you.
Maybe Jamuna can follow up the same question, actually.
I don't know. My story's a little more adventurous. But, okay, quickly I can tell this short, brief version. I was living here in Santa Cruz, and being a dancing hippie, I loved dancing so much, and we would go to these dances here in Santa Cruz, and some devotees started coming there and started washing my brain slowly, and gave me some beautiful books, Heart and Halo and Golden Road. And so my brain was getting slowly washed, and then my friend gave me the Song of the Heart, which I became obsessed with, and started playing 24/7, super loud, down downtown Santa Cruz streets, and with a giant speaker system, you know. And then some months later, Gurudev came to Santa Cruz to visit, and so I was coming to the temple, and I was feeling a little drawn with the temple, but in my hippie style, I was not into organized religion and didn't think I needed a teacher. I was already doing fine on my own, is what I thought. And so I came to the temple, and I could feel Gurudev's presence so strongly, but I was very shy to even come in front of him, like so shy, like. And so I was just in the pot room for the first like 3 or 4 days straight is what I remember. And finally, I don't remember who, it might have been Devi Shakti Didi, but someone came into the pot room, and they were like, grabbed me with both hands, and they were, you have to come see Gurudev right now. He was speaking in the temple room. And I said, okay. And so I went in, so they took me in, and it was packed, totally packed, flowing into the Prasadam hall. And I went, and I could see a tiny hint of him in there, but I couldn't understand anything he was saying, because I couldn't understand his accent yet, because I had not so much familiarity. So I was just listening and looking, and then he started to sing, and tears flew out of my eyes, and it felt like my heart burst open, and I was like, and then I was like, of course, really struck, and so that made me think, like, maybe I should get initiated. And so anyhow, and within the next couple of days, I had this little trip planned with my friends to go hiking, and out in nature, beautiful, my head clear. It became very clear to me that he was my guru, and so I got initiated after that. And then I stayed in SoCal for 9 months, and then I moved to India about a year later, and so that's, I don't know if I should continue, but there's more Leela after that, how I got into the well, as soon as I got there, I didn't know anything about anything, honestly. Got to the Calcutta temple, Devashish Prabhu and Krishna Chandra Prabhu picked me up from the airport, and I came. And again, I was so incredibly shy in front of Gurudev. Like, I also could not speak a word, and he would kind of ask me questions, and I was like a mute person. And but I felt really strongly as soon as I got there, like, all my other plans kind of like didn't care about him anymore. All I wanted to do was try to get as close with Gurudev as I could, and spend as much time with him as I could. So it just happened that Sita had just left, and so there was a little opening in the office, and so but before that, I had some computer experience, but before that, I just started doing whatever I could over there too. Like I was cleaning the Prasadam hall every day in Navadip, and cleaning the temple room, and just trying to be engaged as much as I could. But really what I wanted was the closer relationship with Gurudev. So that was like always my most like pie in the sky wish, that somehow I would get to be his personal servant. So yes, eventually through the grace of Bhakti Lalita Didi and Madhusudan Maharaj now, they eventually kind of worked me in there, and Gurudev gradually accepted after some back and forth. Yeah.
I remember Gurudev saying, she is very intelligent, because you used to buy all the tickets for the trains, and you used to do all the train tickets, and it was such a hard service, and you got it down really, really well. And he kept praising you and saying that she is very intelligent, very intelligent. And from there, you just gradually kept growing. More and more service came to you from that, and he was very pleased with you. That was in Vrindavan, I remember that. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, you were buying the tickets, and whoa, I was like, wow, this girl is really special.
We have a question here.
I wish Ashram Raj is here, because I could tell a story about that, but he's not here.
I just would like to make a comment. I remember one time here, Gurudev was saying, if I ever gonna write a book, I would like to write it with Sita, because Sita knows my heart. She knows my feeling.
Yes.
And Gurudev was so pleased with Sita. But I remember when Jamuna was going to take initiation, I heard the story that this devotee, he was coming on Sokel Rai, and then he saw this girl that she was scared, and she was looking like she was a devotee, and she was dragging a bike that didn't work. And that devotee decided, oh, maybe I should ask to see if this lady needs a ride. And that was Jamuna. And that was Sarvabhavana. And then he told the story that he heard that your car broke that day, and then you borrowed a bike, and the bike broke under the mulch. And there's Sarvabhavana Prabhu pick you up. And then, we saw you coming and this, and then when you were going to India, for the first time, Rishahadeva told you, and you're gonna go, and you're gonna like it so much, you're never gonna come back. And then we here in Sokel start seeing the letters that you were sending to the devotee as Gurudeva's secretary when Sita left, and we were very impressed. And I remember the devotee saying, that girl is very intelligent, and that girl is teaching Gurudeva how to use a computer. We start hearing reports, you know. So I just want to mention the story that, you know, it came to me. Dandava to all of you for your beautiful service. Oh, and I have to say something also that I saw one time, and I was so impressed. Jamuna was shaving Gurudeva, and she was calling Gurudeva's name, and I said, I will faint. I will never will be able to do something like that. So that really was like very touching and very impressed with Nandavas.
I just want to mention one nickname that Gurudev gave Jamuna Priya, and that's Nachi Kushi, which means happy dancer. Because she used to do a little dance in front of him. Like just walking across the room, she would do a little spin, not thinking anything, just walking and do a little spin. And Gurudev was, I would see, he was so pleased by it, and he would smile so happy when he saw that. And he called her Nachi Kushi.
Questions? Oh, I'm not prepared. Are you sharing that about your name?
I have a kind of fun story of Gurudev's, just to share some of Gurudev's incredible nature, I guess.
Yay.
It was once upon a time in the land of Govardhan. Gurudev wanted to go to Vrindavan, and Bhakti Lalita, myself, and Rasabdi Prabhu then. Gurudev we were going to go to Vrindavan. We got into a taxi, the four of us, and then the road was closed, which is very normal in India, that you cannot pass because of anything. Yeah. But Gurudev was like, no, I want to go to Vrindavan. So he told the taxi driver, let's drive down this road in the rice fields or whatever kind of field they were, maybe, I don't know what kind of field, but fields and dust. Let's go this way. And so we proceeded down this road. Gurudev's in the front seat of the taxi. Lalita, myself, and Rasabdi Prabhu are in the back. And the road starts becoming more narrow and more narrow. And at some point, it's like really narrow, and it's a drop-off on one side. And the taxi driver, he's actually like a Kali Durga worshiper, Hindu person. And we get to these points where the taxi's like, I don't know if the four wheels of the taxi have enough road space. And the taxi driver was like, no, I can't go on. And Gurudev was like, no. In Hindi, he said, put your foot to the metal and say, Jai Ma Kali. And so the taxi driver's like, continues on this road, and every time we pass these like really dangerous spots, Gurudev would yell it, Jai Ma Kali. and we did this like 3 or 4 times. Gurudev every time had to coax the taxi driver again and tell him the instruction, no, you are going to put your foot to the metal and say Jai Ma Kali, but Gurudev would say it for him every time. And then finally the taxi driver was so frazzled, he was just like a complete wreck. There's 2 Westerners, Lalita and myself, are white. We're in the taxi. He's feeling really like uneasy to go on such dangerous roads with us. And so one of the last moments of this like road collapsing, he made us get out, but Gurudev wouldn't get out. Like no fear. Gurudev was like, he had us get out, we got out, stood to the side, and Gurudev still was like, we're doing this. And then finally the taxi driver gave up. He was over it. He was like, that's it. And he left us on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. I have no idea where it was. It was some field of fields. and then we're walking down this road, and a tractor goes by with like a really unstable little flatbed on the back. So we're walking down this road, and the tractor goes by. It's the first like anyone that we've seen this whole time. And so Gurudev hitches us a ride with the tractor. And so instead of getting on the tractor in any way, we all get on this flatbed, which is like teetering. And Gurudev won't sit down. We're like begging him, please, like sit down, because it's so unstable. But Gurudev won't sit down. So Bhakti Lalita's holding him on one side. I'm holding him on the other side. Rasabdi Prabhu's like backing, and we're going down still this like really narrow road, and there's bushes like coming into the road, so I'm like trying to block Gurudev from all these bushes, so like he's not going to get hit in the face by like everything on the side. So I'm getting smacked. And then finally we arrive at the opening. And it turns out we end up right, and the little dirt road opens up, and there we are, like in the middle of Govardhan, on this very like normal town of Govardhan street. We've just come from this like amazing like journey and adventure, and everyone looks really normal. They're in their beautiful colors and saris, but we are covered in complete dust. Like, you can't tell who's Indian, who's white, who's man, woman, anything. We're just like covered white. We're like this white powder people. And so we like walk onto the street of this like beautiful Govardhan town, and then we walk back to the temple, and we all disappeared to go take our baths, but I was Gurudev's personal servitor then, so I immediately took my bath as fast as I could. I came back to Gurudev, who also was clean and sitting outside of his room, and he looked at me and he's like, you got so much austerity, I think. Like very sad. And I looked back at Gurudev and I was like, oh, actually for me, Gurudev, it was so fun. And Gurudev just like got huge, and he was like, oh, for me too. Yeah. Hey. So many incredible times with Gurudev, like on the train with Gurudev, and just some that are incredibly intense and really sweet, actually. One time I was on a train with Gurudev, and I'm female, so I'm feeling like I should sit so far away as possible. There's only 6 of us, so we have 2 bunks here and then 2 here, and most everyone there is sannyas or brahmachari, and so I like sit in the very far, like the little bunks that are like in the hallway, and Gurudev was like, no, you come, you sit right other side of Gurudev. So I end up sitting like so close, his knees are there, I'm sitting on the train, so shy. And then in the nighttime, Gurudev had me sleep like in the bunk right across from him, so I could like see directly at him, and gave me his japa mala to protect in the night. So all night I just laid there holding his japa mala, afraid to like go to sleep, impossible, like anything. And so I'm only saying that to say how incredibly affectionate Gurudev is, and how that relationship it's beyond our thinking, actually. So that kind of like claim and protection and affection and love, but Gurudev gave that to us, and to us meaning all of us. And just in even people that met him even one time, just that single glance of Gurudev, just the whole world changes for a person. Just one glance from that pure Vaishnava, and your whole world is transformed. And so, Jamuna, Priya, and myself, every day, just in the morning, that first glance of Gurudev to check, like, where are we at, and how is Gurudev, and, can make or break, or, anything. So,
Sita, I remember when you brought Yeah, I'm loud, don't worry.
There is no button. Wait.
I remember when you brought Jaya to meet Gurudev, and one day we were all in darshan there, and Gurudev wasn't saying anything, and he said, I can't speak so much, and like you're commenting on, you said to Gurudev, you don't need to speak. We're all being purified just sitting here with you and getting your glance. And like I always remember you saying that. And then we're seeing Gurudev feeling like, I'm seeing Gurudev feeling, oh, he's ill and everything, but I can't see anything actually, because I saw Gurudev take Jaya and pick him up. And I'm thinking, wow, this is a lot of strength Gurudev's showing right now. And I'm thinking, and I'm always trying to correct my eyes to, no, what I'm seeing isn't actually what is the truth, because even in those days we're carrying Gurudev down the stairs in a wheelchair. He came back one time. You were there, Jamuna. They guys came back, I think, from Laltu and Jayashree's, and his driver at the time, I remember, broke something on his car. And Gurudev was so upset, and we came to help him out and give him the wheelchair. Gurudev wouldn't let anybody help him, and Gurudev walked full power up all the stairs. And I was so afraid because I hadn't seen that since I was 8 years old, and I was plastered against the wall so I wouldn't get in his way because I was afraid. I was afraid because he's full power, walked up all the stairs and went, no one helped me, no one do anything. And then again, I'm thinking, okay, I think Gurudev is sick. No, Gurudev's full power. And then Jamuna, I'm shifting to you another story and then I'll pass it. The power went out there in Dum Dum Park, the generators weren't working, and Jamuna was actually Gurudev's bodyguard. Anybody was doing anything to make Gurudev uncomfortable, you better watch out, because Jamuna, no, this isn't a joking thing, because she's watching for Gurudev, and it was like 120 degrees, and everyone was like, okay, Gurudev, just go to the hotel, like, Jamuna's like, here's my credit card, let's go right now, get AC, be comfortable. And Jamuna was, let the manager know, this is not okay. We need to make sure there's backups to make Gurudev feel comfortable. And she was, I'm thinking, how is she able to do this? And we all go down, and all Gurudev said, no. Gurudev went and sat in the driveway. It was like midnight. Yeah. And all the devotees are in the driveway with Gurudev. And we're just sitting there, and it's so hot. And Gurudev's just sitting there, like, showing how much tolerance he has, and we're all like freaking out, and Jamuna's like, okay, let's get in the car, let's go to the hotel. They just sat there, and people were fanning him. It was 120 degrees in Calgary, I don't know how hot, and like for hours into the night, and Jamuna's like pulling tooth and nail to try to like get everything back online so Gurudev can be comfortable again, you know? And these are just burned into my memory of both of you guys. So.
Oh, so nice. And thank you.
Is it on?
Yeah.
A little side note, like my own personal story about Gurudev. Ramachandra Prabhu, it reminded me.
Let him talk. Let him go.
No, I was going to relate this one story. It's a very short story. So we were upstairs in what's now Janardhan Maharaj's quarters, and they have the little wooden table things, the tiny ones, and he was sitting in that chair, like when you open the door, there's the chair there. He was sitting in that chair, and they had the little table, and he had a songbook, and he wasn't speaking, he wasn't giving a class, he wasn't chanting, he was and he had this. He was looking at the songbook, and he was tapping with his fingers on the table, and I don't know what to say. It just was so intense, and I felt this purification. I could like feel the cleansing of my heart. I felt kind of like sitting there with no clothes or something. I felt a little embarrassed, all these impurities coming up in my heart, so much so that I had to kind of I had to excuse myself, so I went and did Dhanavats and left a little bit. I came back, but and he wasn't chanting, he wasn't talking or anything. He was just tapping and and humming. He was humming, humming and tapping, and it was such a powerful experience. Anyway, I thought of that. And so sorry. I didn't mean to not ask questions. I just wanted to share.
No, not at all. Okay.
Okay.
Padre?
Es acerca de la tolerancia que también tenía Jamuna y del sentido del humor que tenía Sri Gurudev. Traduzcanos.
Madhima Chanda wants to share a memory she has of your tolerance in serving Srila Gurudeva. And the sense of humor that Srila Gurudeva had.
Okay.
Sí.
Yay.
En una ocasión entré, yo siempre esperaba, ¿no?, que abrieran la baranda para entrar y sentarme ahí en la tardecita como piojo. Y sí, así tempranito, era la primera, todavía no habían llegado otros.
So one day I was waiting to be welcome in the veranda, to be like I was staying like a mini bug. Just being humble and waiting for somebody to open the veranda, and nobody was there yet.
Y Gurudev estaba sentado en su silla, entra Jamuna con unos papeles, se los da a Gurudev y Gurudev le hace así. Pero para eso Jamuna venía con su maletota, que siempre pesaba horrores la maleta, la coloca en el piso. Y entonces ya le da los papeles a Gurudev y Gurudev los avienta por allá después de verlos, ¿no?
No tengo tanta memoria, madre. So she said that Gurudev was sitting on his asana, and then you come in the veranda, Jamuna, and you have your big backpack that it carries the whole world, so heavy it is. And then you bring papers to Gurudev, and Gurudeva just grabbed them and say,
Los avienta, ¡sas!
¡Sas!
She threw them.
The papers.
He threw them.
Ajá, sí. Gurudev. Y entonces Jamuna vuelve a tomar su maleta así pesada, se la vuelve a colocar.
Entonces, then when Gurudeva throw your papers away, you just grab your huge backpack, put back on.
Creo que medio enojada.
Come, like a little angry, but not much.
Entonces se voltea Gurudev a mí, que era la única persona que estaba yo ahí, y me hace.
And then Gurudeva looked deep in my eyes because I was the only one there, and then he gave this big wink. That's it.
Yes,
Who else have questions?
Do you remember?
Not that one. Oh, dear. Thank you.
This brings up a question, Jamuna. Many that saw you took on such intense responsibilities with Gurudev. You were so close and intimate with them. He treated you like his dear daughter and chastised you quite often.
Yes.
Will you please share with us how you digested that? How do you, if Gurudev looked at one of us just cross-eyed or it looked like he maybe was not a little happy with us, we're dead. But you took it like every day. Please share with us some of...
Yes, I was just telling someone it did truly feel like an honor to receive his chastisement. Even like sometimes it was really hard. Also, of course, felt like being struck by lightning in a lot of ways, and but you kind of got used to living at the center of the thunderstorm in some ways. It's so the main thing is there was always this baseline of incredibly deep affection that was like underlying our relationship always, you know. So even if he got mad at me in the moment, it didn't really matter that much because I knew that we were good, like deep down. And so that was a huge part. But really also, like I said, if I could give him any, like I was always desperate to give him any kind of relief. And if I was the relieving object or whatever, then great, you know, don't care because he's gonna feel better afterwards. And so that was like what gave me life, is if I could cheer him up just a little bit. That was actually kind of, for a lot of the time that I was there, I feel like that was one of my main services, was just try to lift his mood. And so if that means getting yelled at, it didn't really matter to me so much.
I remember one time in Calcutta, I don't remember what the event was, but he was upset and he was blaming you or taking it out on you. And you said, yes, Gurudev, and kind of danced across the room, went to your room. And it was like, how does she do that? It was just amazing.
Yeah, practice.
We're all
lots of practice.
We're all very indebted to you for the care you gave to Srila Gurudev.
Thank you.
I don't know
It
of
was
anybody
my
who could have done what you did. It was really quite amazing.
Wonderful honor of my life, Julie.
Especially with all the medicine.
Yeah, all the medicine, everything. She became practically a doctor, learning how to take care of all
the
that.
The times of the day and writing down everything and going to the doctor. And it's like, whoa.
I just want to say quickly how life-giving it is to be able to share all these stories with you all. And even you're just helping me, in this 5 minutes we've been together or whatever, you've already helped me remember so many things that I've forgotten. And how amazing it would be if we could do this more often. And I feel like when we all, like, these are all my favorite people in the world, the people who get what Gurudev kind of is in our lives, or who he is. And so I feel like when we all get together and share these loving stories, that we shine brighter and we attract better. So if there's any way we could do this more often, I think it'd be good for all of us. That's all. And I also want to quickly thank Janardhan Maharaj for really making this happen this year, especially because he's the one who strong-armed a lot of us into coming from all over the world in the most beautiful way, really, in the most beautiful and humble way, which is just so typical of how he is. You know, he downplays the amazingness of his personality like 24/7. You know, his Chaitanya Charitamrita classes are like, they take you to another planet in a second, you know. It's so anyhow, thank you, Janardhan Maharaj, for making this all happen. I hope you get to see this someday.
Yeah, thank you, Janardhan Maharaj.
I just want to say one more thing. Jamuna Priya, she would take care of Gurudev so beautifully in his veranda in Sri Navadweep, and I can remember passing by and seeing her in the afternoon massaging Gurudev's feet for hours, and she would fall asleep massaging his feet many times.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh my gosh, Jamuna. All the time. You would just fall asleep massaging his feet. That was like, God, she's so fortunate. If anybody else remembers that.
I'm sorry.
I do. You got so much mercy. I said, wow, she's so dear to Gurudev. She's so fortunate, you know. And I was just honored for that, to be in your association. I was so grateful, you know. And that time that you're telling me, don't worry, he's not mad at us.
Yeah, that was my absolute favorite service of all time. Yeah.
I have another question. This question's for Sita. It was suggested to me to ask of you. And if you could tell something about when you brought your children to meet Gurudev, what that experience was like.
Okay.
First, Bonavi. Then Bonavi, Ash, I guess actually I brought Ash first to Italy and met Gurudev there when Ash was 1 year old, I believe. And honestly, I was raised with so many rules and regulations in Krishna consciousness that I feel like in one way I had a little, I don't know, I followed so many rules that I wasn't as free with Gurudev in some ways, where I have seen other people who come like from a hippie background who don't understand some of the etiquette rules that have more freedom. And so my initial interaction with Gurudev with my first child, I could really feel Gurudev received me so affectionately, and I could feel him wanting me to give the child to him. But I didn't, because I had this, one, I was Gurudev's servitor, and now I have a child. So honestly, that was a really intense transition for me that I didn't necessarily feel was wondrous in a way, and not something for me to be like, yay, Gurudev, look at my baby, whee! So anyways, in one way, that's kind of a sad moment for me, but I realized in that moment that Gurudev actually wanted me to give the child to his arms, and I didn't. And little Ash, then Banavi, kind of like pitter-pattered around the room and put their hands on Janardhan Maharaj, who was there, and I saw Gurudev watching that like, But even still, Gurudev was so protective. Like one time in Italy, Gurudev was giving some incredible like talk about Srimati Radharani, and we were all just like in utter like, you know, when Gurudev starts flowing some matter, it's just phenomenal, and we were all captivated. But little baby Banavi was there, and there was some plant in the yard, and Gurudev noticed Banavi and noticed some plant that was poisonous. And he stopped this incredible talk that he was giving. I'm bending down. He stopped this incredible talk that he was giving to tell the devotees to, in that moment, immediately take that plant out of the ground. So they removed the poisonous plant. I'm sitting there still in front of Gurudev. Gurudev still like watching me and making sure I'm taking care of Ash properly, Banavi. And so now I'm shy, and I'm like, I am creating disturbance here, so I go to the sideline of the gathering, so that I'm at the purview of Gurudev, not right in, you know, the front circle. And now I'm sitting there, and Gurudev looks over me and tells me in sign language, her knees are it's wet, the grass is a little wet, like, not good. So I'm like, okay. So I like move to the edge of the grass, and I'm like, okay, now I'm on the sideline. I have the baby over here. Gurudev can continue this incredible, and in between each of these incidents, he's continuing this incredible flow. But then again, catches me with this baby, and like a grandfather, like so protective and affectionate, and again looks over at me, and now I'm not in the grass, I'm not in the front, the poisonous tree is gone. But Gurudev looks at me and says, her knees, their knees are going to get hurt on, now I'm at the cement because it's dry. So at that I grabbed Ash and I just left because I was like, oh my gosh, it's too much. But
so there was one more thing. Where's her hat?
Oh, yeah, where's the sun hat for the child? So, yeah, and in between was flowing this incredible talk of Srimati Radharani. So, but yeah, simultaneously, Gurudev's looking after the baby. So, yeah. But Ash had so many incredible interactions with Gurudev in Navadip. And Ash, I was like, maybe we can give some flour to Gurudev. Ash at this point is just like a little 3-year-old. And Ash was insistent that they were going to give this little white flower with the orange stem, Parijata, which we never make garlands with, hardly ever, because it falls in the nighttime, and we know that flowers that are on the ground you don't take, but I was trying to suggest something else, and Bonnevie Ash was insistent to give this little flower, just one of them, and went to Gurudev, and Gurudev put out his hand, and Ash put the flower in there, and Gurudev just melted and was like, nobody ever gives me this flower, and it's my favorite. And
there's a picture of that exchange.
I have the picture. I took the picture.
then Gurudev wanted that flower from Ash every single day. So I don't know what day the picture was, but yeah. And so many, Ash has so many incredible stories with Gurudev, and drinking Govinda Kund. Ash went and drank Govinda Kund while Gurudev was on a walk. Govinda Kund, water. And without knowing anything, Ash sipped it and was like, and Gurudev looked like, oh no. You know, the little girl's drinking Govinda Kund water, and Ash looked up and was like, it tastes like milk. And Gurudev was like, just so happy, because it's Govinda Kund.
That's what it's supposed to taste
milk.
like.
It's supposed to taste like milk. And yeah, anyways, Gurudev is so incredibly beyond affectionate, and also with my second child, I went when he was 6 months old to get his first grains from Gurudev. Ramachandra Prabhu very affectionately brought Gurudev's remnants to me that morning, but because I have had so much time with Gurudev, I was like, no, we're going to try from Gurudev's hand. Even though Gurudev's health position at that point was not really seeing people, and I got Jaya all dressed and ready, tilak and a little baby dhoti on, and looked at him and said, okay, I've done all I can now for you. I brought you all the way here. You're right below Gurudev. Now it's up to you. What is your fortune? I don't know. And Jamuna Priya came down and was like, do you want my help? And I was like, yes. And she brought me into Gurudev's room, and Gurudev was very, in a gentle position, not extremely interactive. And then this little baby, 6-month baby, who wouldn't let go of me and was crying nonstop for days upon days upon days with 2 busted eardrums, extremely high fever. Calcutta was so extremely hot at that time. And wouldn't let go of me. This child ever, even in his health, wouldn't let go of me. When he came in front of Gurudev, he lunged forward for Gurudev. And Gurudev looked down. And first Gurudev patted his hand. Okay. But little Jai, this little 6-month-old person, just kept reaching for Gurudev and finally just dove for Gurudev. And Gurudev grabbed him by the waist. At that time, he wasn't even hardly lifting his arms, but grabbed Jaya and brought Jaya to him, and Jaya just melted and let go of all his tension and all his stress that he was carrying, and just melted into Gurudev's belly. And then Gurudev placed him on his knee and was so happy. He became so animated and so joyful and just so happy, and was like, he is thinking I am like his own. And yeah, it was just yes, that's the meeting of the 2 children. The Gurudev.
I have a question here.
Jamuna, I know some of the devotees were talking about how beautiful your capacity was with Gurudev, and then also some of the chastisement that you got from him, but I had the fortune of seeing some of the adorableness that you had with Gurudev. And I remember when you and me went on an adventure in Calcutta to try to buy a car for Gurudev, in which we test drove cars in downtown Calcutta, which I don't even know how we did that.
Yeah, so don't.
And that in itself was an adventure. And then I remember we went and got some pizza from Pizza Hut. And then we went to the next car dealership to go to and drive a car, and Gurudev called you. And I was like, and then he asked you, what did you eat for lunch? And I was like, uh-oh, we just got busted. And then she's like, we had pizza, and we had, this, and ice cream, and all this stuff. And then you hung up, and then and then I asked you, did we get busted? He said, no, Gurudev just wanted to make sure we ate.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I had never told you this, but you lent me, that same trip, you lent me a computer to use because I didn't have a computer, and it was Gurudev's old computer. And you gave me one instruction that I did not follow. You said, don't look at the photos on there. And I looked at the photos once, and it was you taking selfies with Gurudev. And they were the most adorable thing I've ever seen. And I was just wondering if you could share some of that affectionate relationship that you had with Gurudev, because I got to see a few of those, and it was just melted my heart every time I saw that.
That's so wonderful. I don't know where to start. This is where I get, because it's overwhelming. There's so many different stories, and to pick one is really difficult. Like, right now it's just like a giant library. And
Jamuna, you already told about the cook at the airport.
The cook. Oh, the Coke.
Coca-Cola.
Okay, I'll tell people like that. Oh gosh. Yes, this is a good example of that, though. We were at the hospital, Apollo Hospital, and there was a kind of a big-ish entourage of us, like 6 people. Ananda, Priya, and Devi were there, and a Gopal, and I forgot. Oh, Madhusudana Maharaj probably was driving, and so we were waiting for a test. We had a test that had been scheduled, but we were waiting for like half an hour, just sitting there. And so I told Gurudev, I want to go get a Coke. Do you want one? And he said, no. And I said, okay, are you sure? He said, yes. So I went to go get the Coke, and I came back with the full Coke, and I again offered it to him. I said, you want to try my Coke? And he's like, no. No. And I said, okay. So then I drank the sip of Coke, and then we're all sitting there for a minute, and then he grabs the Coke out of my hand and drinks it. and everybody went, oh, including me. and that's like the end of that story, I think. So yeah, that's a good example. Oh, but I've been thinking about that a lot lately, because I feel like I'm really incapable of doing things properly and following the rules and regulations as far as being able to offer things properly, like technically properly. But I know Gurudev is really merciful, so I try anyway in some small way. And I've just been wondering if in that moment he gave me some kind of tiny little boon saying, like, I know you won't be able to offer things properly in the future, so I'm going to give you this little bit of familiarity so you'll be forgiven. I don't know. That's it.
I want to ask a question. I remember Sita, one time Gurudeva being here, it was a celebration, and you were mentioning that you see how Gurudeva like dress himself of this power when it's a special celebration, that he looked like a lion. Like it was something so special that he can reach to that. Can you talk a little about that? Because I was very impressed when you told me.
I don't remember exactly what you're talking about, but when you, it brings to mind a few things. One is just the power of Gurudev. Like sometimes even when Gurudev would speak a word, he could fill the whole room with that energy, and he could become massively huge or super sweet. And he had that capacity to expand and to feel and to give just this intensity. And sometimes it was simple things, like I heard Gurudev say one time that he was pure love, and it was just me in that room in that moment. Maybe we were doing letters together, I don't remember, but I do remember Gurudev saying, actually, I am pure love. And just his expansiveness when he did it, just then like whoosh, the whole like room with that energy. And Yeah, so definitely Gurudev could expand and contract at will in a really incredible, powerful way. And one of the times that was really intense was in Jagannath Puri. There was one devotee girl there who was locking herself in a room and not coming out to eat, and really in a state of not responding. And Gurudev had even sent Ashram Maharaj up to pull her from her room, but even Ashram Maharaj could not pull her from the room, and that was it. Gurudev's tolerance was finished. He had sent Ashram Maharaj, who's like gentleman personified, and she did not respond to him. And at that, Gurudev yelled her name to come out. And she immediately came out, because if Gurudev said it, like, you had no choice, you were pulled. And so even though she had spent maybe even a week and a half already like trying to isolate and kind of throw a tantrum in a way, Gurudev pulled her out, and I walked with her to support her. You know, she's going to get in trouble now. And I was at her side to support her. And Gurudev is downstairs in Jagannath Puri, sitting on that veranda that's kind of like an L shape. He's sitting in his chair outside the room. I came with her and paid my obeisances next to her and sat beside her. And Gurudev asked her a few questions. She responded in a way that did not satisfy Gurudev. And this is kind of intense, but Gurudev said to her, "Go to hell." And which in that moment, the walls of the whole place shuddered. And I could feel that pressure coming toward me so much that I ducked behind her, because there was nowhere to like take shelter from. She's the only person, she's the only space near me. So in that moment, I just ducked behind her. And Gurudev's power just cleared her. She became cleared and clean and clarified. And actually Gurudev was ridding whatever was ever like polluting her, whatever it was. Gurudev absolutely eliminated and ousted it completely from her. And I became really scared, because I was aware of like everyone who's in this ashram, and my Gurudev just said go to hell in a way that if there was glass in our windows, luckily there's not glass in India, it would have shattered for real. And I'm not exaggerating, really, it slammed doors on the second story. And I went upstairs feeling really concerned for a few devotees who I knew were brand new, to like, you know, make sure, is your faith wounded? Are you okay? Like, you know, and the devotees, I'm not going to say their name because it's not my right, but they're incredible devotees. And I went to check in with them, and they were, you know, waiting to see, like, is Gurudev someone I want to take initiation from or not? So I went upstairs to like make sure they were okay. They took shelter even in the second story in a bedroom. They put their bodies up against the wall to like take shelter behind the door. And when I went in there and just to check in, to be like, are you okay? Do we need to talk about anything? You know, where are you at? Their faith actually in that moment became absolutely solidified, because the one Prabhu said, because any guru that loves their disciple that much, I want to surrender to. Yeah. Haribol Jai. Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. I think that's it.
Any more questions? Okay. Can we have more?
Sure,
Are you open?
yeah, but I think you. Okay.
Thank you for the stories. They're so inspiring and awesome. I'm seeking advice. I really love the idea of this courage that you both have expressed, like that just overcame your hesitancy, just like this desire to serve that just overwhelmed any insecurity. What?
No, sorry, I was waiting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how do you cultivate that kind of courage to serve, both of you?
I think that love is the driver, and so you get so full of love and gratitude that it's kind of like the only way you can deal with those feelings, just to serve. So I would say cultivate things that make you feel love and happiness in your heart, and kind of add or contribute to your connection with Gurudev. Like I said, I love listening to the lectures. They make you happy and kind of increase or develop that connection, that service connection. And reading the books that make you happy and associating with devotees that make you happy. I would say that these are the ways. Yeah.
Good time for a plug, Absolute Sweetness.
Yeah, I have a website that has over 150 lectures on it right now in really good quality called absolutesweetness.org. And I'm really trying to make that my lifelong project. So more coming soon.
Jamuna, in that tone, can you tell more about where we...
Oh, sorry, Sita.
From Sita, okay.
Yes,
yes. Okay. I really appreciate what Jamuna Priya said. I mean, it's really easy when you're in front of the sun to be captivated. So that was really my position. I had the fortune of, being in front of more than the sun, actually. So, it was a drawing of my heart, would, drug my body behind it relentlessly to, gain some service in that realm. But here today, I really resonate, I think, with Jamuna Priya, how she responded, just cultivating it comes to relationship and attraction. What is your attraction and what is your relationship, and developing that until it drives you, But sometimes we have to develop it. And that's through association, of course, and listening, to Gurudev's words and lectures on
absolutesweetness.org.
Yeah. And associating with those who are inspired in that way, then we gain from each other. So, yeah.
Mountains of Sukriti, both of you guys have. Really.
Mercy. Gurudev is incredibly merciful, and
I have an actual question this time. Is it on? So to Sita, my question is, the girl in Jagannath Puri, what happened after that? I'm kind of curious. After that, what happened with her?
She continued to serve with our temple for a long time, for many years. Yeah. Ultimately, I'm not going to tell her whole story, but yeah, in that moment, it was needed. And it wasn't that Gurudev had said those words actually to her. That was what we realized, was that actually those words weren't spoken to her. They were spoken to whatever was occupying her mind and, putting her in a position that was unstable. So, yeah, she became stable after that and was able to carry on and, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question for both of you also. We know that Veranda serving Srila Gurudev is such a pressure It is a lot of devotees trying to get his association and a lot of important dealings to make it all work in the background and a lot of personalities. What did you learn on this time and what did you carry with you in this pastimes, being the veranda with all the devotees from all the world?
I feel like my service with Gurudev was a little simpler than Jamuna Priya's. She managed many things. I had very personal service with Gurudev, and I had the correspondence. And really, for me, it was all about relationship. So I think relationship is everything. It's what we desire. It's what we're attracted to. It's what nourishes us. And Gurudev gives relationship. We actually can have tangible, personal relationship. And that is so powerful and nourishing. And it's one of the only things that I feel is actually nourishing is that personal connection and relationship. And so, I don't know, what I learned was, I don't know. Gurudev is incredibly affectionate, deep, and you know, they say that we're striving for relationship. The Lord is so beautiful. Lord Krishna is so beautiful because you can have, he allows the living entities to have, you know, so many different kinds of relationships with him. But the truth is we actually got to have relationship with that divine personality. And that's everything. But it reminds me of one really simple little story, sorry.
Yeah, no.
I remember Gurudev saying one time, and like I said, when Gurudev says a word, it's truth. It becomes everything. When he says it, he can push that. And so one day he's very humorous. Gurudev's very playful. And one day he was saying, Allah. Allah, Allah, Allahu Akbar. Allah is so great. And I'm just captivated. And he says it over and over again. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Allah is so great. Like Gurudev said it, and now I feel it. And he's just saying Allah is so great, but then he stops and he says, but Allah will not play football with me. And I want to play football, but Krishna will play football with me. So we want relationship, and with the devotees, with Gurudev's family, with, you know, to fulfill our hearts comes from that connection. So yeah.
Yes. Similarly, I would say that that's the thing I learned is that I just want to be with Gurudev life after life. That is what has made this life worth living, and it is really the only thing I want for my future. So, yeah.
We just want more.
Yeah, exactly.
It was everything, but never enough.
Can I have a question?
That's right.
Speaking of which, wait a second. Yeah, thank you so much. You have a question? Yeah. I am not initiated yet. One moment. Okay. Thank you, it's okay. I am not initiated yet, but I have dreams of him being my Srila Gurudeva every few months for a few years now. And I remember Prabhupada saying before, whatever dreams we have of Krishna, of bona fide Gurudevas and cows, we need to take it at face value. It's not something that our mind makes up. And I was wondering if you have any suggestion for people in a situation like mine. Like, I literally have dreams where I am his disciple, and it's so humbling because I don't think I am that good of a devotee. And it's really humbling. We just have these dreams sometimes. So I was wondering if you have advice for me.
I think it shows your attraction and desire. It's a sign of your desire for connection. And our Gurudev always told us to run to the Vaishnava that's present, the living Vaishnava that is tangible, and gain that connection there. So I feel like your dreams are clearly pushing you in that direction. Like clearly this is the path that you are driven to take. So you should take it then. And but that means connecting with a Vaishnava who's giving initiation, because even in a dream, you still need that to be given through the proper channel, and the mantra to be given to you, the beads to be given to you, that connection to be given to you, that living connection. So we have that is present with us. So I would find who you have some heart, your heart is drawn to, and go forward and claim it. Beg for it. Pray for it.
Yes, perfect answer from Sita.
I want to say something to everybody. Ananda Moyi Didi is worrying because she invite us, Janardhan, Ashram Maharaj and myself. But I doesn't want it finished. I donate my time. Everybody is agree with me. This is unique.
We want to hear from you.
No. This is unique. We don't have this opportunity every time.
I am here and I want to hear from you.
But I want to hear from you. You are there, I'm here. I hear from you.
Another way. Jamuna, don't be mad that I'm telling this story.
Okay.
It's kind of funny though.
Okay.
So Jamuna was tirelessly on the veranda all the time, and sometimes, a lot of the time, she would be there all day, all morning, and then night that would be her time to rest and recoup for the next day. And I would be usually done by 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock and lock the gate. And Jamuna came to me one day and said, "Ram, tonight in Calcutta, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar is playing. The best seat in the house is the equivalent of like $10 US. And I'm like, Jamuna, I'm a music lover. And I said, wow, I would love to see that show. And she said, okay, we just have to tell Gurudev that we're going to go. I said, Jamuna, I think I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm not so I am not as comfortable as you with that.
Nice. Yeah, I don't remember that. I didn't go. How about one more? I'm scared. One more.
But let's finish. So, while you're getting that question, though, it reminds me, just as Gurudev's servitors, often we never went on parikram. When we ask, can we go to the market, like in Govardhan, which is right outside the door, Gurudev would say, no parikram. Can we go to the ocean? All the devotees are going to the ocean in the afternoon while you're resting. No. And no, and no, and no. And sometimes I would sneak out. Like a couple times I snuck out and went to the ocean in the afternoon when Gurudev was resting. And I know Gurudev's schedule. I see him every moment when he gets up and everything. But every time I ever snuck out, which wasn't very often, every time I got caught. Gurudev would be sitting like a half an hour to an hour early outside his room and watch me walk past.
Same with me in Jagannath Puri. Every time he would see us wet climbing up the stairs. Just happened to get up early that afternoon.
How about the time when he knew like what you had eaten and?
Oh yeah, Gurudev was really mystical. There's so many stories. Honestly, there's just so many. It's endless. But yeah, Gurudev knew everything. But Gurudev also said one time, he told me, actually I can see everything. I can see everything of a person, but I am not looking unless they ask me to look. I'm not peering in unless they ask. So, but yeah, Gurudev's vision, if he wanted, could see through your lifetimes, past and future. So
I want to not ask, but I remember when I was just a new devotee and I joined, and I had the fortune to be with you, and you let me sneak in Gurudev's veranda when you were doing your service, and I was just hearing like you're doing the correspondence with Srila Gurudev, you would read him the letters from the devotees and he would give answer, or you would just read the answer you gave. And then one time Gurudev said, "At least I got a very good secretary," referring to you. And so I remember I was so impressed hearing the answer Gurudev gave to the letters, how much was harmonizing with everybody and makes everyone happy. Can you tell something about this?
I just really simply, Gurudev, I was always like, once Gurudev started traveling the world, Gurudev went out and came back, and so many devotees took initiation, and just hundreds and thousands, from countries all over the world, and all these letters would come. But Gurudev, when he heard those letters, like, he knew those people, even though he had just met them. Like, I noticed that was so incredible that Gurudev, just in having gone one time, knew the mother of that person, knew the father, knew their children, knew the uncle of them, and in those letters he would make sure to give some remembrance to all of them. But the one instruction I got for the letters was to make them like a sandwich. So some affection in the beginning, some instruction in the middle, and again some affection so that it's palatable.
Who gave that instruction?
Gurudev. Yeah, Gurudev called it like a sandwich.
So our ladies asked to wrap up, and they said that was the last question. But I'm being naughty and see if anybody has a last request.
Encore question.
Encore question is their last opportunity.
One more story.
Or one more story. So we get yeah.
For a sandwich.
For the sandwich.
None at this moment.
The coffee, Mama. Anyone? No? Remember when Gurudev got to the sari in Puri?
Oh.
Wow, yeah, let's hear that story.
So the question was, remember when Gurudeva gave you a sari in Puri?
Yeah. Yeah, Gurudev was extremely affectionate. I mean, it's just again and again and again. And his, so I was his servitor, and anything that came to me, I would just give to Gurudev. People would give me things, and I would just give it to Gurudev because I was his. And we were in Jagannath Puri, and all the devotees were, purchasing things, and maybe, I think someone had also bought me a sari, but I gave it to Gurudev because that's what I did. And Gurudev called me at some point, and with his koka, his boy servitor, and had bought me saris in the market, and Gurudev was giving me these saris, and I was used to wearing more ragged, saris, and but the saris were like, one is gold and yellow, and the other one is like this, satiny, shiny, in bright green and other colors. And Gurudev's having his koka fold these saris out to show me, and I'm feeling really distressed and not comfortable at all, and I don't like this situation. And Gurudev's asking me, do you like them? Do you like them? Do you like? And I'm like, oh, Gurudev. And I looked at his koka, and his koka's like, Gurudev went and purchased these for you. And so I'm like, okay, I mean, I love them. And then Gurudev was like a little shy because at that point, I was wearing like a white sari with some color border and some little dabs of color. And Gurudev, seeing my uneasiness, he was like, oh, I got you one with the white, white with the border. But it was like, of all the white saris you could get with a border, it was white with red border, like nice big red border and red marks in it. And anyways, it's just an example of Gurudev took us and cared for us. And that wasn't a little thing. It wasn't just like being a servitor of Gurudev's. He actually took us and cared for us. And in everything, like even in other countries, like hiding us in the room to feed us, in case the country we went to wasn't going to care for us properly, and making us eat from his own items. So, yeah, just too much, actually.
Okay.
Anyways.
Oh, there's one more thing I just want to say since we have this microphone, and that's that I just want to thank these two right here in front of me, Krishnakanta Didi and Saraswati Didi, because shout out to this amazing atmosphere that you guys have created at your respective ashrams. The Villa Govinda, I was just there for this last month for just very briefly, but it was just unbelievably rejuvenating to be in that atmosphere for even just a few days, like with all the devotees participating in the program and Madhusudana Maharaj's leadership and the classes, and it was very inspiring. So I just want to thank both of you guys, Munindra Mohan Prabhu and Krishnakanta Didi, for your incredible service of like this beacon of light you have created in Italy. And Saraswati Didi also, I'm just so grateful to you for the management job you're doing in London. It's another little oasis for us, so thank you. Thanks, guys.
I just want to add to that too, because I love them very much myself. But on just a slightly different note, I feel like our peer groups, all the devotees, but to have an incredible peer group, I feel like is such a lifesaver. And somehow we have our elders, which are saving our lives and guiding us. And then we have our peer group, our friend group, our sisters, our brothers. And that's a lifesaver for me. And your friendships have constantly inspire me and guide me and hold me. And yeah.
All of you guys.
Yeah.
All of you guys. Me
Yeah.
too. Yay, I love you.
I want to thank you both, but I want everybody to be my witness here. We witness a devotional contract. Jamuna said in the beginning that was good and rejuvenating to be here talking with us, and same for Sita to share Srila Gurudev stories. So I hope this is a commitment that we can have it one more time, maybe next Mela or maybe other opportunities. What do you say?
Sure. Yeah, I like remembering Gurudev's stories.
Yeah, me too.
It's good.
Jai. So let's hear one more time for Jamuna Devi website, because I really recommend daily, at least once a day, or on repeat, non-stop a day. Can you share with us?
Yes, it's absolutesweetness.org, and the podcast is on Spotify and other places too, like Apple and stuff. So.
Jai. So I want to thank you so much. I'm so sorry we have to wrap it up, but Puri Maharaj so gently donate his time. We're gonna set another time for him so we can properly honor and have his beautiful words with us. And for the next class, we're gonna have your beloved Krishnakanta and Munindra Prabhu sharing a little bit of their preaching in Italy with us. Ciao, bellos. And so we will see everybody in a couple minutes here.
We told
Yeah. in a couple minutes. You have 20 minutes, so everybody has 20 minutes to refresh, and we come back, and then 6:30, we're gonna start organizing for the trivia night. So I hope you see you tonight, please. Jai Srimati, Sita Devi ki Jai, Jai Srimati Jamuna Devi ki Jai. Dandavats devotees. Oh, I have more announcements. Jai. Okay, so I have announcements. Don't go yet. Kitchen Seva, we have opportunity for cooks and helps with Madhura Priya. Madhurya Priya. Jai. If you're willing to help and cook, that will be really appreciated. So let's see what I'm doing here.